when you into the portal, you needed to kind of attack the portal and grab some reinforcements. You grabbed three guys. What was kind of the criteria that you were looking at when you get into the portal?
Yeah, obviously the first thing is just overall fit, making sure that they fit our program, fit the what it is that we want for our kids, and making sure that again that they're just the right fit, not only on the field but off the field. Obviously on the field, we're wanting to increase our speed. We want guys that can run. And I think that we were able to address that in various ways this past off season. And then, with the departure of some guys, we wanted to get some length out wide, find some bigger guys, and we were fortunate enough to do that. So I think we were able to kind of hit in all spots, that X position, F position, and Z position. I'm pleased with the guys that we brought in. They've been terrific, smart guys, guys that work hard, that want to be really, really good ball players, and I think that we'll have an opportunity to do that this year.
Hey Adam, how you doing?
Greg, how you doing, man?
Good, good. You guys bring back Trell Harris too. I know you got a lot of newcomers, but with Trell, he flashed early before he got hurt. What's the next step in his game in your eyes, and where do you see the development that he needs to take this spring?
Yeah, I mean, first things first, just getting healthy, making sure and understanding that health is his greatest asset, and he's attacked that. We got him healthy now, which is key. I think we saw early on last year, what he was able to do for us in only 3 games. He's, in my opinion, he is a game changer. Just his ability to run, his separation skills, his IQ of the game overall and the position. He's a terrific player. I think that he's got a chance to be really good. As far as his development, just want to kind of see him step into that leadership role. And he's done a great job in this offseason of doing such. He's kind of taken this room, by the reins, and he's kind of showed the leadership that I've desired out of him and that he can be, which has been extremely encouraging. And all that's going to do is just push him to be an even better player himself, because it forces him to kind of be on his P's and Q's. So, just the leadership skills I've seen has been really, really great. He's a kid that from day one he's a worker. He doesn't say much, but he just comes to work, and I love that about him. He wants to be the best that he can be. He's got big goals and dreams and aspirations, and he attacks those every day. So just continue to grow in that leadership role. I've been extremely pleased with that.
And then what's the competition like in the slot at this point? You brought in some newcomers, but Sudarian's back, Cam Courtney's back. How does that competition look here in the early part of the spring?
Yeah, we got a full room at that slot position. We got some talented kids out wide. I really do believe that. Sedarian, he's going into his 3rd year with us, and I mean, he knows our offense like the back of his hand. He's got a lot of experience, and he's just that savvy. I told him he's an older receiver now, which is crazy to think. But you have that experience of him. You got Cam Courtney that last year, we threw him into the fire, and he did a fantastic job. He's obviously still got growth to do and just learning the position and just how to play it and the nuances of it. But just his athletic ability and how fast he plays, that stands out probably more than anybody. You got Josiah Abdullah, the young kid from Georgia, who has come in, and he has been not even a pleasant surprise, but just a surprise just of how mature he is. That kid comes to work. He wants to be extremely, extremely good. He's going to push a lot of people. I got a lot of faith in him. And then the one that I'm really excited about as well is Cam Ross. And Cam is kind of that tweener receiver where we can put him outside, we can put him in the slot. So he's going to have to be able to do both, and he's going to be capable of doing both as well. He's a kid that is I mean, he's played a lot of ball. He's had a lot of success. He's super smart. He has already grasped our offense fairly quickly. So just the ability to be able to move him around is extremely exciting. So that slot room and just the production that I believe we can get out of that room or that position, it brings excitement, and I mean, you got the guys that are pushing one another, so there's healthy competition throughout, and I'm excited to see kind of who rises to the top.
Thank you. Hey, Adam. Go ahead, Matt.
Talk a little bit about Jaden Thomas. Obviously, it's a bit of a unique recruiting situation with a guy playing so deep into January. What do you like about him? Your first impressions and just the experience that he brings, obviously from a winning program.
Yeah, I love Jaden, man. He's a no nonsense. He's a worker. He comes to work every day, and I love that about him. He's just got a great attitude about him. He's got a great presence and a great demeanor about him. Very mature, extremely mature. And he's a kid that he'll do whatever he's asked to do. Obviously, he comes from a great program. He's played a lot of ball. He's got a lot of experience, and he wanted an opportunity where he could just continue to showcase his skill set, to the best of his ability, and we had that opportunity here for him, and he's done a fantastic job. He's really smart, really smart. I'm really excited about Jaden. Just a really, really good football player, and I think his best ball is really ahead of him. I think again he wanted to be in a situation where he could kind of, I guess in a sense build his football brand, I guess you can say. But he is going to get every opportunity to do that, and he's going to help us out a lot. He's a reliable receiver. He's got some explosion. He's a big body kid. So we're going to be able to put him in a lot of spaces. He's going to be able to add a lot of value to this team, which is extremely important out of this room. I want guys that are going to be able to add a lot of value, and he does just that.
Hey, Adam, talking about the last transfer, Jamal Edrine, what did you see? He kind of had a good start to his career at FAU, transferred to Purdue. Things didn't quite work the way. Just talking to him, you didn't think, a lot of opportunities left out there. What did you see that kind of attracted you to him in the portal?
Obviously, again, we were wanting to find some length, with the departure of some of our ex receivers. So obviously because of his size, Jamal he's a big kid. Jamal is all of 6'3", maybe even 6'4", 25 pounds, but he doesn't look it. But he's a big kid. The thing that really caught my eye about him is just his movement skills. For him to be able to move as well as he does, as big as he is, was extremely impressive. On top of that, he showed a lot of production. He catches the ball extremely well. But with all that being said, probably the thing that took me away more than anything else is he's probably one of the most well-mannered, great kids I've ever been around in my years of coaching. You talk about just stand-up character, phenomenal young man. Yes sir, no sir. Will do anything that is asked of him. Those are the kind of kids that you want in your program, and those are the ones that, again, that we wanted to seek, that were a Virginia fit for us, and he fit that mold perfectly. And then you put that together with just his athletic ability and what he's able to do and what he's able to provide. I think that kid has tremendous upside. I'm really, really excited about him.
He talked about just the development piece is a big reason he picked Virginia. Where do you want to see his development taking him, or what do you kind of focus on first here in spring ball?
Yeah, I think it's just building his entire football IQ. He obviously has been in a couple different offenses now. and so his IQ is going to continue to grow. But just continue to give him and provide him the confidence that he needs and empower him to be the player that he can be, because the kid is talented. The kid is super, super talented. And so obviously it's just refining the small, minute, details and skills and techniques and nuances of the position to help him be the best player that he can be, and allow him to reach all of his goals and his dreams and what it is that he wants to do. Because I think he has the ability to do that. And, if we can put him in positions to truly thrive, I think he's gonna take the bull by the horns, and I think he's gonna get it done.
And last thing for me is just this program under Tony Elliott, you've kind of gone from all ACC kind of lead receiver in the room from Wicks to Malik to Malachi. How do you kind of look for that to develop this spring when you don't have that guy that's kind of been there and done it on the biggest level and shown that production?
Yeah, I think you just allow it to unfold as it will. I don't think you try to force anything. We've been extremely fortunate. I've been extremely fortunate to coach some pretty good players throughout my time here. But the thing is, we're not looking for replicas or duplicates of those guys. We just want them to be the best version of themselves that they can be. You bring up Malik Washington. And coming in, Malik Washington, nobody really knew about Malik. He just came in, he worked, and he made a name for himself by his work ethic and his production. And it's, it'll be probably similar, this year to the guys that we have in the room. We got a lot of guys that are wanting to prove themselves and prove themselves at the highest level and just give themselves an opportunity to potentially play at the next level. But that's it's a daily chore. It's coming to work every day. It's doing the things that everyone else is not doing what is more than required. So I think I actually like the fact that we have a room full of I guess you can say no-name guys that just aren't getting all the media attention out there, because I think a lot of them are going to make a name for themselves at the end of the day just by how they work and the attitude and the effort that they bring every single day.
You mentioned Sedarian Harrison earlier when you were talking about the guys in the slot. He came in as a freshman, made some noise last year, didn't make as much noise, some injuries there. What do you expect from him? What do you want to see him do to kind of take the next step?
Yeah, I mean, he's very similar to Trell. He's an older guy that's been in this offense, for 3 years now. And so my expectations of Sedarian is show his leadership. Like Sedarian is more than capable than probably any of our receivers to be really, really good, and so it's just seeing the consistency out of him and seeing that every single day. But Sedarian is one of the best kids that I've ever gotten to coach. He always comes around with a great smile. He comes to work every day, and so just seeing the consistency on and off the field with him is probably the thing that I desire to see the most, and just allowing his natural leadership skills to just shine through. He is a natural leader. The kids gravitate to him, a lot of because of his personality, his work ethic, who he is as a person, his character. So I think him continuing to be that person, and then also just the consistency on and off the field, and the sky is the limit for that kid.
You obviously had an experience coming from the portal, but you also have two young guys coming in as freshmen, early enrollees. What did you see from Dylan and Josiah when you were recruiting them, and what have you seen early on in the spring?
Yeah, so I'll start with Dylan. With Dylan, we were fortunate to recruit him for quite some time. He's a local kid. He's from Richmond, comes from a great program. And the thing that I love about this young man is that he's got a fire in him. You talk about somebody who loves football, who's passionate, that wants to work, who wants to be extremely, extremely good, who is extremely confident in himself and who he is as a person. And you see that it oozes out of him, when he plays, how he walks, how he talks, and just the confidence that he exudes each and every day is really, really impressive, especially for a young kid. So just seeing that, the passion again, through the sport and through wanting to get better, and then just the overall athletic ability. I mean, the kid he's a pretty good ball player now. He's going to be able to push some guys, So I'm really excited just to see his growth and his development, especially in this first year. But I think that he's going to have a chance to really push some guys in that X room, in that bigger receiver room. As far as Josiah, man, he's very similar. Incredibly athletic. Incredibly athletic, probably one of the more athletic kids on this team. Makes a lot of stuff look extremely effortless. He is already at this tender age able to do some things that I don't necessarily have to coach. He just has that innate ability to just figure it out and to really do it. Thirsty for knowledge. He asks a lot of questions, but again, coming from a great program down in Georgia. He's got a terrific family. The kid really, really wants to be, as he says, legendary. And I love that. I want kids that have big goals and big dreams and big aspirations, and he's shown that already, just through his work ethic. So those two guys, they're gonna have a chance to be pretty good ball players for this Virginia football team.
Transfer portal brought a lot of offensive linemen in too.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how that might impact your position. So just for example, if they spring guys more in the running game, your guys blocking downfield, that sort of thing, how could it impact your guys on offense if the offensive line has more depth?
I think it only helps, It starts in the trenches, and Coach Heff and Coach Kitchens and obviously our entire staff did a great job of just identifying the right guys, for our offensive line and to kind of bolster that group. And we brought in some really, really good ones, and I think it's only going to help us even more out wide. Obviously, it's going to help us in the pass game, but obviously in the run game as well. And, one thing that we demand out of all of our guys out wide on the perimeter is, no block, no rock. If you don't block, you don't get the ball. So to me, that's more of a want to thing. But it's going to push these guys to block even harder, to do their job to the best of their ability even more. But then it's going to give them the confidence that, we got guys that are going to hold up, on the offensive line. So that means we got to do our job out wide when those pass plays do get called, and we got to execute and we got to make the plays downfield when our number is called. So I think overall, it's only going to help us at the end of the day.
Follow up on some of the slot stuff. When you guys did your self-scout from this past season, was there anything that you guys saw as maybe why there wasn't as much production in the slot, aside from not having Malik back from the year before?
Yeah, I think every year is just different. I think every year you get new kids, you get new players, and you never know what you're going to get. Yeah, obviously you hope and you wish for the absolute best, but you just never know. And last year, obviously in the slot we didn't get the production that we desired, or that Chris or Sedarian or Cam desired going into the year. But every year is just different. Obviously every year you would love to go in it thinking and knowing that you're going to get the production that Malik Washington had, but that you can't put that on a kid. There's times where they could have been better, there ain't no doubt, but there's times where we could have been better as coaches. Myself, whoever. So every year is just different, and again, going into the spring, we're going to continue to prepare the right way, and try to build these kids and their confidence and their skill set as best as we can, and I feel confident about the guys that we have in that room, and specifically at that position, that we can see a lot of success out of that room.